What is up, App Nation? Welcome to another YouTube live stream happening every Friday at 9 a.m. California time, Pacific time, where we bring on a guest to talk about a specific topic that they're an expert at. And we also take a look at your apps, and we've seen some amazing case studies in terms of growth and revenue growth as well. And today, we're going to talk all about mobile gaming, the hottest space right now. And I brought on an expert to really talk about mobile gaming in emerging markets such as the Middle East and Africa. So today's guest is Johana Riquier. She was voted one of 100 GI Game Changers in 2020. She's an award-winning diversity speaker, diversity advocate, guest speaker and business strategist at Unity. And since joining the gaming industry, you know what, let me just read my notes. JoJo has taken steps to promote and represent minorities in the digital and gaming space in and out of Unity. She has worked hard, head on, to advocate for diversity on content creators, and the community as a whole. I'm super excited to have her on. She's a future podcast guest. We already did the episode, but we're going to talk all about gaming here. And I said, JoJo, you got to come on before you become super famous. So she said yes, and here she is. JoJo, welcome to the show.
Welcome. Thank you. Thank you for having me, Steve. Thank you.
So hi, everyone. I'm going to go off the top. If you guys want for us to take a look at your apps, there's a long list, but just go to appmasters.com/audit and you'll join that wait list as well. And then we'll let you know when your app is going to be featured. But JoJo, you've been doing this for a very long time and you're an expert in this gaming space. Can you talk about the opportunity that exists in these emerging markets?
Sure. So my name is Johana Riquier. So I've been looking into the emerging market for the last 5 to 6 years. And what are the opportunity here? And what we see in the growth there is, first of all, the opportunity for diversification of content. So Middle East and Africa region, there is a story there. There is a lot of cultures. Africa is 54 countries, so can you imagine 54 different countries with their own internal culture as well, and as well the Middle East, which is around 15 to 18 countries. So the opportunity is there for diversification of content, but diversification of content creators as well. So this is where there is really a focus from the West, and as well because there is the rising of talent there, game developers and content creators. There is the esports scene is really huge in the Middle East and in East Africa. And West Africa as well.
Are there any specific type of category of games that works better for these type of emerging markets? And then also, like, what's the iOS Google Play split in these emerging markets?
So in the emerging market, so let's say it's two different country type of region. In terms of Africa, the mobile Africa is a very mobile market. Middle East as well. There is actually a little bit more focus in terms of console in the Middle East market because of the buying power, which is evident there. But mobile games there are very much appreciated by the players. The split, that's a trick question. I haven't got the split in terms of 60-40, but I know that Android is a higher is used more than iOS, just for the fact that Android is cheaper than iOS.
Yeah. Well, one of the people that I've got to meet because of you, Hugo Obi, we did a podcast episode. He's going to be on the YouTube live streams next week, but he talked about really getting creative with some of the monetization, especially for these markets, because sometimes it's, like maybe the ads aren't really doing, or the in-app purchases are hard for people to pay for, and they're not always connected to data. And so he's been talking a lot about using business partnerships and working with, he's out in Nigeria, but working with the companies nearby to kind of do like a more of a BD deal where he can give cost per impressions a better rate than these companies can get elsewhere too.
Sure, so that's true. So one of the challenges that the game developer has there and advertiser around the world is how to monetize game. I think we talked about that as well in the past. The fact that when user download the game and then they play the game removing the data, because data is an expensive commodity there. So when you remove the data, the ads can't play. Yeah. And then if the ads can't play, the in-app purchases can't play, and then you then hit the challenges of monetization. So there are some solutions that are being brought, like the immobile payment and the partnership with the different telco over there.
Now, JJ, what do you feel about this? Like, a lot of people I talk to, like, hey, let's go to the US, that's a big market, that's where all the money is anyways, blah, 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 all these things that people say. But for those who are like, it's so hard to monetize in Africa, or they have these concerns about it. Would you say, like, no, like, here's why you should go to these emerging markets because X, Y, and Z?
I would say because right now there is a focus and solutions that are being brought. It is very much suggested and recommended to start looking into how to monetize into this market and actually partner with developers, but as well associations and publishers in the market, because it's going to grow quite quickly. I think within the next 18 to 2 years is going to be booming, definitely.
Yeah, I like it. Sometimes you got to be a little bit early, just gotta focus on it. All right,
Yeah.
Let me say hi to a few people. We've got hi to Bus Simulator Real. I think I have your name here. Yeah, Raja, welcome. Congrats on your success of your app. I've taken a look at it. Got over 1 million downloads. Bijwaji, good to see you every week in, week out. Joe, what's happening, brother? And then we've got Rassi, what's happening there? And then, hey, Binkyo, Romaine, what's happening? We took a look at your app a couple of weeks ago, or if not last week. Johan, how's it going, man? It's been a long time. And then we got Raymond here from Ghana. Welcome, Raymond. And then Alex is here as well, Jojo. Awesome stuff. All right. Anything? Okay. He said, thank you. From that standpoint, are there other things that we should be thinking about? Like, I know we had a conversation with somebody about, localizing ASO in those markets. I think, are there any things that we should be thinking about when trying to market to these markets? Market to market. Okay. When we're trying to advertise or potentially promote our game in these markets?
Yes, I think some of the things that you need to focus focus about is localizing your marketing. Marketing in the US is not the same than marketing in those regions. Ensuring as well that you know the culture and you know what is acceptable, mainly for Middle East, the Middle Eastern market as well. Ensuring that you align with the mentality, the mindset of people, and what they want to play, and what is very much of essence for them. So really make some research or contact a consultant to tell you about what is the free top priorities for such and such countries.
Yeah, I agree. And I think I guess what I'm trying to say too is I've got clients from all over the world. Jojo, I'm sure you do too, where you talk to so many people, and rather than always, let's say you're in Africa or in the Middle East, I've got a couple clients in Jordan. Like, focus on your market. Like, don't always try to go like, oh, what's happening in the US, or let's try to target that, or the Western countries. Let's see what we can do here. And I think that's what Hugo did really well, where he was really trying to, you kind of put it together too, but he said, hey, I'm going to develop content that people in Nigeria would understand. And so he came up with like a mosquito smasher. And then I always mispronounce this. Is it the Woot or what? King, and then the card game, he's like,
Wood Kid.
Root King, okay.
Yeah.
He said Root King, everybody in Africa would know about this card game. And so I was like, okay, that's great. Like, like he's like, I'm really focused on these markets, really keen on making content for these markets because he's in Nigeria and he spent some time in London. But like, I think if you guys are in those markets, don't just try to think about what's happening in the Western markets. Like, think about what you can do in your own markets too. And then for the Western people, think about like, hey, how you can be ahead. Where is the mobile gaming going to be in a couple of years too?
Exactly. And as well, the developers, when they develop for those markets, there is the diaspora. There is people from Nigeria, from Ghana, from Senegal that are actually not in the country, and that would I remember when I was actually putting some visibility on the working games.
Yeah.
I had some comment, oh, this remind me of my childhood, from a lot of people in the US. Yeah. So think about as well the diaspora, who has a better as well buying power than the vast majority in those countries.
Yeah. Well said. Well said. All right. And we've got Vina. How's it going? If you guys haven't said yet, hi. Say hi in the comments. All right. Jojo, you want to take a look at some apps?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, we got Tom. First and foremost, Jojo, it's my favorite time, and I need a drop for this, but we're gonna do a little dad jokes. Did you prepare any dad jokes at all, or?
No. Okay. But yeah, I'm a mom. I've got three children, so
good.
I'm sure.
All right, Jojo, we're gonna lead off with a good one. All right, so in the comments, if you like the joke, put a 5. If you don't like the joke, put a 1. But Jojo, what did the nut say when it was chasing the other nut? What did the nut say when it was chasing the other nut? I'm a cashew. Boom. All right. Let's see. Bijwat Cheat says, yes, localization is really important. I've added 10 languages in my game and 35 in Play Console. Have you seen any growth, Bijwat Cheat? Let us know, because sometimes I'm like, we've localized, but we haven't seen the growth. Celtic Whispers, what's happening? And then Patrick is here as well. All right, Jojo, let's take a look. So we got Tom. I got some notes here with Wordcursion. He said ASO and monetization suggestions. So Wordcursion is the game. I think I have it up. Tom, good. Let me see if we can figure out what this app is all about. Just from the screenshots. Players face off in a battlefield of letters where they race to occupy territory and take over the board. Okay. So it's kind of like Risk meets some word game, Tom, if you're here. That's what I'm getting a sense of. What do you think, Jojo, so far?
So I downloaded the game. At the start, I didn't really understand. I understood that I needed to create like long games. I liked those type of games. Was it? I think in terms of attracting players that love those type of game, it's kind of nice. The first, when I got on it, and the actual preview, I didn't really understand the preview.
Yeah.
That was my first thing. Yeah. If you play the preview, it wasn't really clear. Then I had to read about it. So having a clear preview that really show exactly what the player is going to get during the game is very important, and describe the app very well. Now then, my issue here will be retention.
Yeah. Well, let me talk about ASO real quick, Jojo, and then we'll get into, and I'll show off the app on my phone too. But what I would say, Tom, is if I'm gathering this right, it's because you have word find right here. Word search is actually a good term. See, as you can see, I just put in word space, and word search is one of these auto suggested. So word search is a good keyword that has a lot of traffic. Obviously, it might be really competitive as well, but that's what you kind of want in your title. Now, Google is making some changes where it's no longer 50 characters in the title. It's going down to 30, just like Apple. But word search, you definitely want to have in here, and play your friends at new exciting. This is great for a short description from a brand perspective, but it really isn't ASO optimized. So you want good keywords in the short description. Kind of talk about it. And as if I'm looking at your screenshots and all that stuff, I just have no idea what this app is about just from the screenshots. Like, nobody's going to read this. You should have some good keywords in here, but nobody's going to read this long description. And so this first screenshot, I always feel like, is like, hey, tell me, what is this, your app? Like, what is the game about? So if it's a combination of two different types of styles of games, then great. Just say that, word search meets Battlefield. Yeah, what's that? What's that game that I'm trying to think about where you have Battleship? Like, think about that, because right now I have no idea. Play your friends or your enemies doesn't really tell me what this game is all about, your screenshots. So that's what I would say. And when I'm looking at this looks like a crossword. Is it? I don't know exactly. Find words. So maybe it's find words, right? And then we have to dominate the field. So it looks like it's yellow versus purple. And then the more words I find, the more fields I take over. Something like that. So think through that. And I'm sure you've always thought about that too. And then these reviews, like, don't, fix that. And Jojo is going to talk about a little bit about the retention, but this is not a positive thing. So really look at why people were complaining. All right, let's get into the app. Jojo, I'll pull it up right here. So Wordcursion. Cool. And while this, okay, sign in with, let's say, play a guess. The audio's cool. Oh my gosh. All right. Steve P. Yeah.
And I have a question. Is it only a multiplayer? Because in the subtitle is like play your friend or your enemies.
Yeah, I know. Huh. So find a game, create a game. Okay. Tap to create a word with 3 letters. Connected to your blocks. Oh, okay. So it's kind of like Blockus. I play this board game called Blockus, so I have to use one of the letters that are connected to my blue. All right, so that's interesting. What were you talking about from a retention perspective, Jojo?
In terms of retention, it can be it's attractive for people that like word games, but what actually going to keep the gamer in the game?
Mm-hmm.
Are there actually some what's the word? Sorry. Reward during the game? Is there any in-app purchase that's going to help them stay in the game if they don't want to watch an app? all those type of things, basically.
I do like this intro so far. Like, I'm not bored. The thing that I don't get about this stuff is like, I don't know if we need this, Tom, at the very bottom, this flank, revenge, all this stuff. It's already fun for me, Jojo. I know it's hard to see. And if I blow it up, it might get crazy with this Android phone, me sharing this. But I don't know, having these little power-ups add much to the gameplay, because I found it, I'm like, oh, this is pretty interesting and fun without all that stuff. So I like this. And play, but I feel like it's too much. Like all this, like at the bottom, all these power-ups. Player who occupies 51 blocks wins. Okay, that's it. Good luck. Okay. Yeah, and I agree with you from a monetization standpoint, Tom. If you're trying to monetize, like, consider these starter packs. You know, we've actually put a couple of different podcast episodes in the gaming space too, with people who are from Mobilityware and then Riot Games, talking about like pricing and monetization, all that stuff. So check out the podcast at masters.com/iTunes. But okay. Let's see if I can find a game. But yeah, the monetization is really lacking. I feel like with these, retention, like you said, Jojo, like retention has to be strong, and then you have to figure out a way to monetize, because, you know, we're having this with a few of our clients too. It's just like, sometimes we can drive all the growth, but if we're not monetizing, it's not working at all. And you're going to end up just wasting money and time and resources, because if the game's not monetizing, like, you're not going to be able to actually grow downloads, right?
Yeah. Grow download, but as well retain the people that have downloaded.
Yeah, exactly. Because right now, like, where can I buy stuff? Let's see. I really don't think you need these power-ups, but I don't know where I can actually buy stuff. So so far, I think the gameplay's solid. I mean, I don't have any problems with the gameplay. I think it's pretty well done. Anything else you want to add?
No, I was trying to play as well, like you, and I had exactly the same moves than you.
I don't even. But I like this gameplay. It seems interesting. I'm gonna play some more, Tom. But I think from a monetization standpoint, I don't even know where. Let me go back. Just right now, what's missing from this main page, and this is what I say too. And let me know, Jojo, if you disagree. But I'm always like, on this main page, it's sort of like our app's homepage, and it doesn't look like there's any way to figure out where to buy. There's no shop in here. There's actually no ads. And so there's nothing going on from a monetization standpoint that even makes me want to buy. And I think from a gaming perspective, when you have this nice little intro, Tom, also think about like Clash of Clans. What they do really well is they get you to buy stuff during the intro. Like, hey, use your gems. Boom. And this helps you do that. And then use this. Boom. That helps you do that. And then they, at the end of it, maybe even consider showing a starter pack where it's like, you want to buy 5 gems, 400 coins, blah, 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 and then unlock all this stuff for just $1.99 or $4.99. And I forget the guest names. So here, I can pull it up real quick. But anyways, what she was talking about from Mobilityware was also the preferred price point. Once you have users set on actually paying you, let's say $4 or $5, find that preferred price point. Kate was talking about like finding that preferred price point and running a lot of segmentations. And then once you hit a certain price point and people get used to paying a certain price, it's hard for them to move off that price. And that's what Kate was saying in her podcast episode. So look up that episode with Kate. It was episode 836.
Yeah, so I've seen that the game has been made with Unity. So there is the Unity ads, Unity monetizations that can easily be implemented in the game for you to start monetizing. And if you actually have a download outside of your country as well. So really look into, you can go on Unity, you can just Google Unity ads and see how you can implement the Unity add features in the game.
Yeah, agreed. All right, let's see. Let's get into some of these questions. Leandro, how's it going? Andy, good vibes from SoCal. I'm sure the weather is amazing over there. All right, Andy says question. Oh, he said for chat. All right. So he's looking for people who have done that. Bijwati said, yes, many people from Brazil, Russia, France, Egypt, Vietnam, and many people playing. Even more feedback. They even give feedback in their language. That's awesome. So this is what this is localization. I was like, hey, this is good. All right. Then we got Ease Review. Hi, guys. Hey, Ease Reviews. All right.
Hi.
Rassi was adding individual power-ups should be introduced after the player reaches a certain level, similar to Candy Crush. Yeah, I think that's a good point too, Rassi. These power-ups that are at the very bottom down here, Tom, during the introductory, like I didn't want it. And I felt like it messed with the gameplay. That's just my feedback. These power-ups at the very bottom right here. That was my feedback. So Rassi was saying the same thing. Yep, same thing here. And Bianco, the UI inspiration from Brawl Stars makes the app clean, but goes a bit too far regarding the icon. Yeah, it looks like a complete knockoff. UI is awesome, so people are liking the game too. All right, awesome, Jojo. How you doing so far? Jojo, I just want to make sure the audience knows we've linked up Jojo's YouTube channel. You guys got to check it out. She has some phenomenal guests. You know, I've stolen a couple of guests, not stolen, I've borrowed. I've found inspiration from her guests as well. And Hugo was one of them after our podcast episode. So I immediately reached out to Hugo. It's a great guest. So really good stuff there, Jojo. You want to tell us a little bit about the YouTube channel as well?
Yeah, sure. So that's the goal, basically, Steve. You know that the goal of the YouTube channel is to highlight and give visibility to game developers and as well professional of the game development industry. So I started the channel in January to really have to really put spotlight on those game developers and ensuring that their work is being seen worldwide. Why I started doing that is because working in the game development industry, I still am. I'm still being contacted to get developers from Middle East, developers from Africa, and why not? I have a full-time job, and for me, the best things to do was to actually highlight them, and like that, they would be able to get more work, more people to talk to, and just the visibility for them, you know.
Yeah.
And understanding for everybody to understand as well what's going on, what are the opportunity for growth, and how to be successful in the region as well.
Yeah, and I think it's important, like representation, diversity, all super important. And I don't want it to be so like centric on Western cultures or whatever it is. Me, you know, like my family's from Asia and Burma, to be exact, Myanmar. And so it's like, you know, it's good that we all represented. And most people from Burma are not represented, I would say, anywhere. Because I was having a conversation with my Thai friend who started a YouTube channel. He's like, hey, I want to really highlight minorities. And then it's like, well, there's minorities within just the Asian culture as well that aren't highlighted. And I didn't even think about it because he was like, yeah, there aren't many Thai entrepreneurs. I was like, you know what? And he was pointing out there aren't very Burmese entrepreneurs like yourself too. So it's important for us to make sure we highlight I always have trouble with diaspora and like diversity and everything because everybody's so unique and so cool.
Sure. Were you able to identify the game scene, the game development scene in your country?
No, I mean, there's a lot of crazy stuff over there right now. And, you know, I do think about it when I'm talking to people from all over the world. And it's like, you know, India, you think about like development, and then you think about the Philippines. And I think Nigeria, you know, Hugo is saying like content and design, you know, so countries sort of starting to get known for a certain like skill set. Mm-hmm. And I was like, what can we do back in Burma that we feel like we can fill in a hole that would also help out too? And I was thinking along like design element too. And because the Philippines, they're really good designers there too, and they speak English and all that stuff. So yeah, I need to go back and think about it, but there's been some like government like stuff going on right now. But it is something I do think about. You know, as we get older, it's like, all right, what can I do to make a difference? Versus when we're younger, it's like, what can I do to make money? Now it's like, what can I do to actually make a difference in the world?
Sure, and actually, you're right. I'm actually from the Caribbean, French Caribbean. That's why, guys, sometimes I look for my word. I went back to Guadeloupe for 2 months end of last year, and I was really told off by the tech scene there. Why are you not advocating for us? What are you going to do? So I started looking for that as well, and ensuring that there is a booming activity, a booming scene in not only in Guadeloupe, from where I am, but as well in the whole Caribbean arch. Yeah.
That's awesome. All right, let's see. Happy Pet is here. How's it going? Let's take a look at the next app. But before we do, got another joke for you.
Another joke.
Right, hey, I wanted some more scores. I only got one 4.5. So shout out to who gave me that 4.5. Somebody gave me a 4.5. Oh yeah, Vina, thank you for that 4.5 joke score. So give me some more scores. All right, here we go, Jojo. What did the sushi say to the bee? What did the sushi say to the bee? Wasabi.
I've got one for next time. Yeah.
If you want to go right now, you can go.
Okay. What does the baby corn say to mom?
What does the baby corn say to
Mama
mom?
corn. What
was it?
Well's popcorn.
Well spoken.
Like mom joke.
I like it. All right. This is fun. I like it. All right. Let's go to the next app. We've got Daring Destiny from Daniel. Daniel says grow. That was his only thing. Daniel. And why does it say Richard? All right. Story choices. This is interesting. I've actually looked at it. But one thing I want to point out too, when we were talking about like, we had this episode about localizing the Arabic languages and the opportunities there. And this game was all in Arabic. This game company only focused on the Middle East. He's doing phenomenally well. And I think one thing that he was pointing out is like, just be careful with the cultures, right? Like, hey,
Exactly.
in Middle East, like no alcohol, no things.
Exactly.
So like, just be careful with all that stuff.
Yeah. So this is what I said earlier when I was saying localization. I wasn't only talking about the languages, but localize with the culture as well.
Yeah, so true. And this game reminded me of it because they had a lot of these type of games in Arabic. And so I was like, hey, it reminds me of when we were having that conversation. All right. Isn't that the best thing of what we do? Right, Jojo? Like, it's like, I get to learn from all these people from all over the world. And it's just like soaking up. My wife always complains my memory sucks, but it's like, I think I'm just using my memory for these things for the app space. And then it's like, hey, what did we do last week? I don't remember, but I'll really remember a lot of this stuff too. All right, let's take a look. Grow. So you're, again, from an ASO perspective, this isn't very much optimized, just so you know. I know these are kind of hard, Daniel. This is a pretty competitive category, but the app title, the subtitle, your decisions, your story, probably not the keywords you want to go for. Think about romance. You know, when I'm thinking about games like this too, I also think about like, what is my target audience? If this is like a more female-centric type of game, then think about what they might be looking for. Like, I'm thinking like The Bachelorette, these type of things that are love related and these that are keywords that are targeting my market. That's what I start thinking about when I'm thinking about ASO, especially if the main keywords I'm going after are super competitive. So that's what I would say here. And because you just said grow, and there's like, think about the ratings, think about how you can improve it. I think it's so important. We talked about this last week with my previous guest, was like, how do you find the first 100 people who love your product and how do you really engage with them? And I think when in the beginning, if you think about a soft launch and how people like the bigger companies soft launch, they always try to start small, like that first 1,000, really figure out what the metrics are going to be, and then tweak the product and then do a full broad launch. They're never like, hey, I built this app. It's super good, Steve. You got to check it out. And then they just launch worldwide and go strong. They usually do a soft launch. You know what I mean? Everybody started really small in the very beginning. Okay.
Yeah, all games do a soft launch first anyway. Most of mobile games they do soft launch.
I think with like indie developers and stuff, like we're so committed to the app, and we're just like, let's get it out, let's go. So instead, we don't do that soft launch and making sure the app is really well done, and we get that feedback too. Okay. Now we said, like I did a user testing and I did a live reaction to my user testing. And so it is pretty valuable just doing that. And that's only $50. So you can get a couple of people in there. So rather than spending it on Facebook, guys, I would spend it on there if I had $200 to spend. All right, Jojo, shall we go into the app itself? Let's do this.
Sure.
I fill this up. There you go, guys. Boom. Okay. Boom. Move that over. Lots of things happening on. Okay. Sure. Play as guest. I like how they say play as guest. And I think Apple always recommends it. Okay. No paid decisions. Full content with unlocking a chapter. I think if this is a monetization up top, Daniel, I would change that. And I don't like this scrolling stuff. I would just keep it as a, let's see what this is up top. I can't even tap on this stuff. Okay. Oh, I can't tap on this. Anything?
So basically you create your story, yeah?
It looks like it. I like this gem store. I don't know what the gems are going to be used for yet, but I don't know exactly what to do. I think a couple of different like welcoming flow, be like just a reminder, because the first screen was like, hey, want to sign up? So just a reminder on what the app is about, Daniel, would be interesting. So kind of like what you have here, romance or not, choose your character, choose your own adventure type of thing. That's what it feels like to me. Just remind people. Remind people what the app was all about. Just a couple of different onboarding screens would be nice, and then get into the game. Okay, I'm gonna try. Let's see. Ooh, Fatal Desire.
Yeah, I was about to say Fatal Desire.
Okay, look at you. All right, we're in lockstep. I like it. Okay, something about death and desire. It's like, okay, let's go. Jojo, I'm a big fan of romance, and I will always rant romantic comedies. I love that stuff.
Oh, wow. Me as well.
All right. 3 characters. Let's pick Amy. Sure. So am I just reading? Amy, where are the transcript reports? Okay, so sarcastic. Let's flirt with him. All right, Jojo. Let's see. Who, the paper jam? Uh-oh. There's no waypoint waiting for someone to fix a problem like that. In the meantime, can be fixed by me, sir. Not okay. So I'm just reading a book for those who are listening to this. This is a book. Now. You should. You turn to face the person whose voice you recognize anywhere as your best friend, roommate, and coworker. Aisha, Amy, wasting Jamie. Okay. All right, I'm gonna go through this. This is just for the sake of time. Wow, that's a long book. So,
like first, fire away.
Go ahead, Jojo. You're the guest.
I think it would have been great to have a little bit more opportunity to answer around the line. There was only one opportunity, and then there were a lot of response.
Yeah.
to actually change the direction of the to make it more fun and more personalized. What do you think, Steve?
I agree with you. And I think what these other ones do, Hooked and these chat story ones, they leave you hanging and be like, you want to read more? Oh, you got to pay, right? Like there's an opportunity to hook me at a certain point, because right now it feels so long that it's like, give me an opportunity. It's a good pause to either make money or, like Jojo said, get more input from me. But right now I just feel like I'm reading, which, if I were into this story and if I was actually like paying attention and not trying to get to just through the app, I might be more invested. But you're right. Like, I want more input because that's what it is about, right? Like, choose your own story.
Yeah.
And I'm just trying to get to the end just to see how he monetizes, and I can't do that. So it's going on. We're going to lunch, Jojo. We might go to dinner. Who knows? So this might be the full story. I don't know how to get out. But yeah, this is a great opportunity to get more input. Look, we've been tapping for so long, and I haven't been able to give any other input at all.
Yeah. So is the first input just like that was sarcastic or professional? So is it just to stay sarcastic for a long time?
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know if that led me down this fatal path. maybe fatal. Oh man, see, look, I don't even know what's happening. But from that perspective, I don't know what these gems are, but it might be interesting. What I've always tried to do is like, maybe these stories cost certain gems, right? And so you get me to pay for this stuff, like, hey, this is 5 gems. I have 5 gems, so I can play around with a few, or maybe it's 2 gems or whatever it is. But I feel like it's right now, I can't figure out what the monetization is at all. Daily rewards. Okay, claim reward. Cool, I like that stuff. But
what do you use the reward for?
Yeah, exactly. We have no idea, and we obviously haven't finished this one book. So I like this soon, going off script. But I think what I would do is really pay attention to Hook, a lot of these chat stories app, because they've done a really, really good job. Jojo, I was looking at Hook for the first time, and I was going through their story, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is so invested. And it's like, do you want to know the ending? You got to pay. And they just locked me, and I was like, oh my God, that was so good. So, and I think that's what's missing here. Like, I'm not giving enough input, and you're not hooking me enough to want to pay me too. All right. Anything else you want to add for this?
I think if you choose sarcastic, you're going to stay sarcastic the whole time, because I was doing it at the same time than you, and she's being sarcastic the whole time, basically.
Okay. Well, Jojo, you, according to Patrick, you won that round.
Thank you, Patrick. Thank you.
And then Patrick is Bianca. Bianca has used B7 Dev, so if you guys are interested, go check it out. Matthew, we've already looked at your app. Come on now. But if you want us to look at your app, go to appmasters.com/audit as well. All right, Jojo, we've got one more round of jokes, another app to look at. You got another joke that you
what do you call? Yes. What do you call a small mom?
Oh my goodness. This is my last joke too. Okay, you go for it. What do you call a small mom? What?
Ding! Minimum.
Jojo, that was my last joke. That was literally my last joke.
This was the last joke? No way.
Yeah, I had that saved. That's the joke I was gonna say.
We really aligned, Steve. This started to be scary there.
I know. It's a fatal desire. All right, guys, I got one more. So put in the comments, Jojo or Steve, J or S, who you think won, and then we'll play for something. All right, Jojo, what do you call a man with a rubber toe? What do you call a man with a rubber toe? Roberto. All right. Joe says the green theme of this app isn't working. Green symbolizes nature, safety, relaxation. Why not go with red? Good point. Yeah. And then Bianca says, yes, I love B7 Dev. I had a good experience with them so far. Good to see you, Bianca, in the comments as well. All right. Cool, Jojo. That was a good joke. That's so funny that I literally had that minimum. Bus simulator app. Okay, we've got, let me pull up the person's name. Raja says, my game traffic mostly from India. Focus on two things, increase traffic in India and increase other region traffic as well. Okay, cool. So congrats, Raja, because 1 million+ downloads. That's amazing.
Nice. Yeah.
I did take a look at the keyword. So I'm in App Annie right now, and I was looking at your keywords to see which ones you're ranking well for. And this is for India. So I changed it to India. So unlike other ASO tools, like I like App Annie because it's like I can see the keywords. I don't have to input the keywords to just tell me which keywords you're ranking well for. I think it's like top 15 or 20 of the keywords. So real bus simulator, congrats. Bus simulator, India. So this might be a keyword if it has traffic that you might want to focus on. India bus. So you're really ranking well for a lot of these. I think what I would do is, because you called it bus simulator real, you're number one for it. Think about maybe even adding India in there if there's search traffic for India bus. I know people might be searching for a literal bus, not some simulator game. But again, simulator bus, I don't know how well you're doing for bus simulator. Bus games. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you need realistic, but maybe try real again when I'm looking at the short description. But so far, I mean, if you're thinking about other countries or other markets, think about what the traffic is for bus simulator. And then if there's traffic in that particular region, go after that as well. And maybe look at your competitors. You can use Sensor Tower to see what some of your competitors, where else they might be getting traffic. And that might be a good starting point for you to consider these other markets too. All right. I don't necessarily love the screenshots, but I think this goes to tell you, like, sometimes if you have a good game that people love, like, you don't, like all these things that we look at from a screenshot perspective aren't really that important. I've had a friend who does a bubble shooter game, Jojo, that's been around for some time, and he does really well. And the graphics are pretty old and nasty, so it's like it doesn't really matter from that end. But okay, anything you want to add, Jojo? You want me to get into the game? Are you looking at the game already?
Get into the game. I see that it is also made with Unity. That's great.
Yeah, a lot of games with Unity. Okay, yeah, let me get into the game too. Share that. So here we go. Simulator. Okay, let's see if I can flip this for you guys. There you go. Adds personalization. Sure. All right. I don't know if we need that screen, but okay. I like this get coins up here. I love this. That's one of the things that we're talking about with the other app, the Wordcursion, like, have some visibility on where I can buy stuff. So get coins up here, up this very top. I know it's kind of hard for you guys to see, but it's really good there. And then go ahead, Jojo. You want me to go tap anywhere?
Sure. Yeah, you can fire away.
Oh, pink. I like it. Okay, let's go. Select. Whew. Night and rainy.
I'm stuck here because I don't know exactly what to do.
Oh, it looks like I have 2 points.
Ah, okay.
Okay, let's go. What do you think about that? He said we're going to show you an ad before the game starts. What's your opinion?
I think it should have been just after, or a little bit, give the give the player the opportunity to actually play.
Yeah, I didn't mind it as much, but because the message was there, I would have minded a lot more if you just popped it up interstitially. But for now, I didn't mind it as much because you're like, hey, I'm going to show you an ad real quick. So I didn't mind that as much. Interesting. So I can just drive. Click to open. Yo, it's not working. What am I doing? Wrong.
And also, in terms of the ads that he said that we're going to show, you have the possibility of closing the the ads. So in terms of monetization, I'm sure that normally a game developer get monetized if the whole app has been seen and if there have been some type of action on the ads. So really having at least half of the ad playing would be a good thing to do.
What if I crash? Oh, nothing happens. Okay. I'm kind of having a hard time driving this thing. I don't know where I'm supposed to go. Trying to get on the road. Let's see if I can get on the road. Okay. It's kind of hard to see everything.
Is it yeah, okay. All right.
I'm not going. I'm tapping on the gas, but I'm not going anywhere. So Raja, I don't know what's happening here, but I don't know if I'm just off the road. Is that why? But I'm stopping everybody. I suck at this.
Okay.
I'm not moving at all, so I don't know what to do. Raja.
Tap on the arrow, no?
Which arrow? Left, right?
Left, right there.
Oh, this is the signal. Honk.
It's the signal. Okay.
Not sure. Change the camera settings, he says. Okey-doke. I don't know where to do that. Is that up here? Okay. Here? No. I don't know how to change the camera settings. Right here? Okay. Yeah, I don't know. From a usability standpoint, it's kind of hard for me to figure out everything. Jump. Did I just get out? Oh, shoot. Get back in. I'm out of here. Peace. How do I get back in the bus mode? Get back in. Okay.
Nice.
Start. What do you say? Take reverse one more time. Okay.
Jesus. Okay. I got stuck.
I think I'm stuck because there's so many cars in front of me. All right, Raja. I'm done.
Oh.
Okay. Service bus, pay coins. I like that. I think overall, did a good job. Like I like that, you've localized for your market, and it's hard for you guys to see, but I think this is Hindi, but yeah, I see it's localized here. I think if you're trying to go for other countries, I think you're doing what I would just suggest is look at other places that you can do. I think you've done a good job in terms of like 1 million downloads, decent reviews, 2.2. Some things that are missing, but no gear, bad graphics, add real Indian bus, and then I'll give you 4 stars. So look at your comments, is good, but laggy, need to improve. These are some of the newer comments that you have. And I kind of agree with some of these comments. It's kind of hard to play. Okay, press the reverse to kneel. Let's see what the comments say. Okay. Bijwachi says, my space shooter game was also made in Unity. Good stuff. A lot of things are made in Unity. If I were forced to watch a rewarded ad to continue with the game, I think I would just uninstall. Okay, that's a good point. They agree. Vatch agrees with you. You guys are so harsh. An app before gameplay is very poor UX. It gives the impression that game will be rating with ads. Let the user play first. Okay.
Exactly. I agree with them. That's why I said like just before the game is not the best.
Yeah. Joe says I would instantly delete it if I saw an ad. I do watch a lot of rewarded ads for games for in-app currency. I do that as well. Controls for the game are too complicated. I guess for a simulator, that's the point. Most games now tend to simplify the controls very quietly. I agree with you on that. Okay. Tamil is the language. Apologies to that. Cool. So good luck with that. Raja, let us know like where you go and what you do end up improving. But I think congrats to you for 1 million+ downloads. Game looks excellent. There's some improvements that you need to make, but you got some good advice from the comments here as well. Jojo, anything that we missed that you want to make sure we cover before we say goodbye?
Yes, all the games are great. This is really a star for efforts and really jumping into it and realizing your dream, Yeah. So I would say I support you 100%. Yeah.
Jojo, if the audience wants to connect with you and say thank you, I'm going to say go check out Jojo's YouTube channel. It is all linked up into the YouTube description. Smash that like button for her and that subscribe button as well, and you'll find some great guests along the way on her channel. Jojo, if the audience wants to connect with you in any other way, do you want to send them anywhere else?
Yeah. I've got a Twitter, which is at Jojo_Riquier, as you can see it here, my name. So you can tweet me, you can send me a DM, and LinkedIn as well. I'm a lot on LinkedIn, so it's my first name and my last name, Johana Riquier.
Awesome.
Thank you very much,
Steve. I'm sorry, I stepped on that. What did you say?
No, I said thank you very much, Steve.
Jojo, it's been a pleasure. I'm so glad we got to do this. Her podcast is coming up in a couple of weeks too, so make sure you subscribe to the podcast at masters.com/iTunes, and make sure if you're just watching this for the first time, say hi, and then also subscribe, hit that subscribe button as well. Next week, we're going to be talking to Hugo Obi, and we're talking all about retention, right? Retention is what's going to be driving the revenues. He's got some great insights on easy, simple things that you can do to your game, no matter what the game is, to improve that retention, which will ultimately improve your revenue. So stay tuned for that. And shout out to Jojo for connecting me with Hugo as well. Jojo, congrats on everything. I look forward to staying connected with you.
Sure.
Yeah, thank you guys. Have a great weekend. I don't know who won the last joke, but let us know if you guys comment in there. But let me see if I can find it. Yeah, if you guys like, but that was a great joke, and I'm so glad. All right, Joe says, great stream. Thank you, Joe. Bianca, thank you. Good to see you. Raja, good. Thank you. And then Bijwati, good. All right, guys, have a great weekend. Joe, thank you so much for doing this. All right, bye.